And we're on with Alicia Reece, soul food, food for the soul. And as you know, we break it down to collard greens, cornbread, and we put the hot sauce on it. And we are excited to have on the line a longtime family friend, and I'm part of the Rainbow Push family. Please welcome to the show, Reverend Jesse Jackson. How are you?
Sister Alicia, God bless you. And food for the soul includes justice and mercy and love, as well as the real soul food, meat and bread and potatoes.
I love it. Now, you know, one of the things, because you were with Dr. King, and a lot of times the places people meet are in the soul food restaurants. I mean, that's where we had a lot of meetings, and I learned that from you. Talk about how important that is.
It was the only place you could meet, but also we're supporting our own community. We're affirming our own culture. The fact is, the reason our restaurants exist because we need them to exist. They could get big if they had access to capital, and often capital and technology. And so we really fight to get our business owners who are small enough capital they can grow.
Yeah.
The best soul food, soul food restaurant in town should maybe have three or four franchises. But the access to capital is a big deal.
Absolutely, and that brings us to our next question. I mean, we certainly are marching, and we've had some strides, and I know that those strides are under attack from the White House to the State House, and trying to take everything from your house as it relates to civil rights. But Rainbow Push has been on civil rights as well as civil rights. How important is it for us to fight on both ends?
Well, you know, we use our votes for political purposes. We use our dollars for economic purposes. We must use all of our, use the whole arm of God, the vote, the mind, the dollar, the resources, and the coalition. Right now we're in a fight with BMW. 340 dealerships, 5 African-American. We used to have 12. We're going backwards. Our 10% would be 36. We can't just get the ride out the car. We want to be their partners, business partners, not just their customers. And we're going to boycott them until something happens. Not just dealerships, but also lawyers and ad agencies and marketing and ICF jobs and professional services and construction. We were really a real partnership.
Now, that's, one of the things growing up, and you're a good friend, my father, Dr. Stephen Reece, who has been in business over 40 years, and we were just celebrating his 70th birthday. And that's one of the things, a lot of times we don't watch the dollar. We have the spending power to spend, but we don't necessarily use that power to make sure, like you said, that we have what you call economic justice.
We undervote. We use less votes than we have and spend more money than we have. So we overspend on the vote, and we got to use the vote and the dollar as weapons for our development.
Now, you've been up in Silicon Valley. I mean, a lot of times people, we get, even this show, we put it on Facebook Live. We're on Facebook. We're Googling. We're buying our stuff on, Amazon and eBay and all this technology. They said the world is moving in a technological way. And you've been one of the few people to say, well, wait a minute. We got to challenge Silicon Valley and the tech space. Tell us about that.
Well, Amazon, for example, does not have an African American on their board, neither does Facebook. Twitter does now, Deborah Lee from BET, and Apple does, Mr. Bell formerly from Boeing. John Thompson is chair of the board. At Microsoft, he succeeded Bill Gates. So we want to get board members and C-suites and employment, but also procurement, professional services and financial services and construction, the whole range of stuff. We want to be their partners, not just their customers. Partners, not just customers.
And how do the churches, how can they get involved? You always say we got to definitely make sure whatever we do, we got to have the churches.
Trying to get 1,000 churches, for example, to take one of those into Sunday school rooms and put maybe 20 to 30 laptops and teach our children apps and codes. And financial, how to app and how to code, financial literacy, and stock market games. There's a reason why you could take 50 churches in the greater Cincinnati area with 30 laptops. And you do that 6-week class 3 or 4 times a year, you be reducing our young people in mass who can get the best technical jobs coming to Cincinnati. And they are coming.
Now, let me ask you about that. You have been involved for many years. I don't know if everybody knows this, probably not, taking on sports franchises. I mean, whether it's Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, Rainbow Push has a sports division that takes this on. What is your take on Colin Kaepernick? People are getting involved in should we kneel, should we not kneel? You've got NFL owners referring to players as inmates. You've got other owners, Jerry Jones is, saying you better do this, I own you. Where are we at with this, and what does this mean?
We're just going from cotton balls to footballs. Don't have the right to divide and pray. That's backwards. The fact of the matter is, if he were burning the flag or desecrating the flag, that would be objectionable. Even though it's a legal right, it would be objectionable. But to kneel to pray, demanding justice, stop. Young man right in the University of Cincinnati got killed. What was his name?
Sam Dubose.
Let the police walk free. Yeah, and then let the police walk free. The Cincinnati players should kneel because of that. I mean, this fight is not about the flag. It's about racial justice. And Trump diverted our attention arguing about the flag or not the flag. It wasn't about the flag. It was about racial justice. When people should not be killed when they are, it should be of consequence. And from Trayvon Martin on to the killing in Cincinnati, all the people who were killed without consequences, we must protest. I'm glad these young players are standing up in their own nonviolent way and fighting back. That's for their right to kneel. If they don't kneel, something wrong with them.
Well, let me ask you this: with your wisdom, you've been there with Dr. King in his final moments. You've, everything from Selma to the Montgomery bus boycott to desegregation to Thurgood Marshall. You've been through all of that. The question becomes, we always ask this question on Alicia Reece Soul Food: has America lost its soul? And if so, how do we get it back?
First of all, there's an attempt to take back what we've gained, but we're not giving it back. We're not going back. Don't confuse the incidents of ugliness with the law. When Dr. King gave the speech that day, Alicia, in 1963, from Texas across to Florida, up to Maryland, we could not use a single public toilet. We didn't have the right to vote. Black soldiers at the same time, Nazis on American military bases at concerts, and had to give deference to them. We ain't going back. And so Trump is trying to turn back the clock. He can turn back the clock. He cannot turn back time. We're not going back. And we stand up and fight back, and we kneel and pray. It's the right kind of thing to do. One thing worse than slavery, adjustment. We must never adjust. We'll be permanently maladjusted in the struggle for dignity and for justice.
Wow, we must never adjust. And so for those who are turning on the social medias and turning on the TV and they're just getting beat down and feel defeated and feel as though you look up and not one person has been, we haven't won any of those cases like the Sam Dubose and others, and some of the millennials say we tired, and we talk about movement versus moment, and that's why I call this soul food, because soul food takes time. It's not you can't put it in the microwave. It has to bake. It has to simmer. We have to put our soul into it. Give us some soul food.
We couldn't take a picture on the single lawn of the state capitol. We couldn't buy ice cream at Howard Johnson in the front door. We couldn't rent a room at Holiday Inn. Our money was counterfeited. The day we fight, well, there's an attempt to fight us back, we have the law on our side. We have the right, the legal protected right to use public accommodations, the right to vote and to make EEOC demands. And so we're fighting BMW because we have the right to do so. And the power. I mean, 340 dealerships, 5 African Americans out of 340. But we can't accept that.
Wow. Well, Reverend Jesse Jackson, I want to thank you, and we'll have you back on the show, keeping us updated on what's going on a national level, where we got to fight equally for civil rights and silver rights. And you've got a boycott going on right now against BMW. You're saying we just don't want to drive the cars. We want to be able to own and sell the cars, and be able to have all of those positions at the table of making decisions.
And then mechanics who can make the cars, and designers who can design the cars. There's more in the car than the ride. There's like 13,000 parts. Every part is an industry. You must think beyond just the style and the ride, but also think about industrial development.
All right. Well, thank you for taking time out to be with us on Alicia Reece Soul Food. Reverend Jesse Jackson, thank you. Keep hope alive. I am somebody, and we're going to keep the fight going on Alicia Reece Soul Food. Food for the soul.